Coming up, the best spots to farm iron, star metal, and ori. I'll show you the best spots for each, as well as some of the lesser known locations in case you're running into a lot of traffic, and some farming tips sprinkled throughout, so stick around and up your farming game. First up is iron. Although it's everywhere, you can see here on New World database map, you can go anywhere and farm iron. I'll start with my favorite spot, right here west of Everfall. You can find quite a few nodes in a row. I love making this run mainly because it's the first iron ore run that I did when I was level 20, 25, so there's some nostalgia there for me. A far more effective run is definitely going north from Everfall. You can TP to that shrine and do this big loop, and by the time you're done, you can walk back to Everfall and teleport up, or you can just recall to Inn and again teleport there. The nodes should be respawned by the time you get to the bottom left here. Another great spot here just to the right of Everfall. You can do this just about in any order. I actually like to hang out in this spot and just wander around and farm trees and iron. Last spot I'm going to show you comes courtesy of Senile Sarge. Shout out to him. He's found a great rotation you can do in Cutlass Keys. Here it is. I'll link his video in the comments if you want the full detailed run. Biggest tip for iron is to stop and grab any other resources you see along the way. Iron respawns really fast. It's not that valuable. The next node can wait for you to grab that silk thread or rabbit. Next up, star metal. There are quite a few, so stick around to make sure you don't miss any. We're starting in Shattered Mountain. Mountain Rise, to be more specific. This is probably one of the best spots that's not super overpopulated to gather star metal. It's also one of the most densely packed areas. My biggest tip for this spot, once you get to the first location here, you can overlook the entire valley and see if any of the other star metal nodes are left. This next one's in West Ebonscale. You can see here on the map. This is a location that I don't think many people are aware of. I've only discovered it recently, and I'm going to take it a little slower here to show you each individual spot. So you can see you start here at the top of the hill, and you move down to these couple of nodes. Don't forget this one down here. And then you run all the way up to the top, and then you can jump down and it's a straight shot to this medium node, and then the 3 at the bottom. Now what I found is this is a really good quick run. You can get a couple hundred. You can stop there and teleport elsewhere to keep farming, or you can actually round the bend and go and collect all of this other star metal. It's going to take significantly longer than that short run that I showed you, but I don't think people are making this run. I haven't ran into folks that are actively camping these spots, so give it a try. Let me know what you think. I have 4 more star metal spots to show you. I'm going to run through them fairly quickly, so get that print screen button ready. This is Ebonscale, the Imperial Palace, just to the left of the spot we just saw. This is a really popular spot just to the east of Brightwood. You will likely see this camped, because it's a pretty popular spot. This is a great spot in the north and south of Weaver's Fen. I like to make the south run first, and then I end at the town and teleport up and go around. This is a great little spot to camp in Cutlass Keys if you want. You'll also notice it's right in the middle of the iron run that we took a look at earlier. Not a specific run, but Morningdale is absolutely full of star metal. The last star metal spot I want to show you is right here in Great Cleave. It's an excellent spot. Here we go, the main event, the absolute best areas for farming Orichalcum. Orichalcum.
Orichalcum.
Orichalcum. Yes, that's right. Starting us off in a low traffic area that you probably haven't seen before is in northern Morningdale. There's a small collection of 6 nodes. This is where I've done a good chunk of my Orichalcum farming while I'm queuing for Arena and OPR. You could also just park yourself here while you're doing things IRL and just come back to check on it every 10 or 15 minutes. Probably a good time to remind everyone that the Orichalcum respawns were actually changed to match the same as iron respawns. They used to be, I think, twice as long. Some nodes took up to like 40 minutes to respawn. Quite a few spots for Ori still remain, so I'm going to speed this up a little bit. Here we come to South Eden Grove Mines. I love this spot. Again, a great spot to camp and queue for OPR. It's typically untouched. I have seen other folks here, but on average, it's about a 50-50 chance that no one will be here. Next up, we have the new locations added in the Medley Fair event, I believe, sometime in the summer. We have North Reekwater, following this guide. It's a little misleading. All of these nodes are actually up on a mountain. It looks like there's a cave below it, so the map is kind of confusing. And at the very, very end, there's some star metal. You can also jump off down to the bottom to get some platinum. Now, just to the southeast of Reekwater, there's another new spot that you can go and collect a ton of Ori. This is probably one of the most popular spots because there's no mobs and a lot of Orichalcum. It does seem pretty overpopulated based on the last couple months of farming there, so don't worry, there are a number of other spots we can check out next. The only location I found worth farming in Brimstone for Orichalcum is right here, just to the left of the major city. And the only problem I would say is there's some pretty strong mobs here, so if you're not comfortably level 60, 600 gear score, you'll want to wait to farm this spot. The middle one at the very end here is also extremely difficult unless you kill all the mobs. I wanted to share this excellent infographic that someone posted on Reddit. I'll share the link in my description. As well, while you're down there, throw me a like and subscribe if you're new. Thanks so much. Alright, on to the next spot. Very quickly, here's the spot that they added in Eden Grove. It's also pretty populated most of the time. Now, if you recognize where I am right now, don't skip ahead just yet. I have a tip that might help. So if you don't know, just to the left of the Mountain Home outpost is the Scorched Mines. It's a very popular chest running spot. The problem with this spot is there's constantly chest runs going through, there's very strong monsters, and sometimes there's people that will camp here PvP flagged in order to ambush. The ore respawn time in elite zones is, I believe, half the regular amount of time. So that means that these ores respawn much quicker than normal. My tip for this location is if you can time your Ori run 5 to 7 minutes after the chest run leaves, you'll be right behind them. A lot of the times the mobs will still be dead and you'll be able to scoop up any Orichalcum that has respawned behind these big groups of chest runners. Just to the right here we also have Allurman, or what we call the pit. This is another elite zone, so nodes are respawning much quicker than normal. It's pretty competitive for Ori down here, but feel free to go check it out. We are almost done, folks. Thanks for hanging in there. This second to last spot is in the middle of Ebonscale Reach. It's a great spot with 6 nodes. It's fairly highly contested, so it's worth checking out every once in a while since there is a teleport nearby. I got lucky here and got all the nodes in one run. It's pretty often that people will come through and you'll only get a couple of nodes out of the 6 that are here. This is another one of the OG Orichalcum runs. It's also one of the locations we looked at earlier for star metal, conveniently. In my opinion, if there's no one else here, it is the best because it has the most Orichalcum and almost absolutely no mobs to have to deal with. It unfortunately is usually ran by multiple people, so only try to farm this if it's really off-peak hours. That's it for this one, guys. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in Eternum.